All right, let's see here. I literally just played with this thing. There we go, screen share. Welcome to the Molly Academy, the Maximize Sales with this 157-year-old marketing technique. Appreciate you taking up the time to join us here today. There's a few things really we want to talk about when it comes to marketing as a whole. One of the big pain points for small business owners or even big business owners and marketing directors and kind of everybody in between is simply being able to track their marketing to see what's working, to see what's really not working. So we're going to dive into that here quite a bit. We'll really be able to showcase and show you how to track your ROI and how to get it to explode. So for example, if you do typical marketing, a lot of times it's typical blind response marketing. On average, you get about a 3% return. Overall, if you look at anything, about 3% of the market is in the market right now for your product or service. I don't care if it's buying a new car. About 3% of the people out there right now are looking at buying a new car, buying a house, buying tires, buying a couch. Always about 3%. And so that's a lot of something for you to take a look at. So what's good and getting a return on it, instead of 3% respondents, what's pretty solid is 6 to 8%. And that's, again, pretty solid. One thing that we really shoot for, and one thing that we'll show you that we've done consistently, is getting up to 30% of your audience to respond exactly to what you're trying to deliver to them. And so we want to get into that and teach you that. So really there's a process. There's a process behind this. We're talking about the 157-year-old marketing technique. Every Fortune 500 company uses this method. We've spent well over $1 million in the past few years testing and doing this method time and time again for our clients. Most companies, again, are thrilled to remain at the 3 to 6% level. And again, it doesn't matter if you're talking about big companies like Porsche, McDonald's, or Apple. We want to, again, show you how to really maximize that and how to get 8 to really 10 times that type of results. So the industries we've worked in, it ranges all over the place. And we just listed a quick dozen. From mechanics to accountants to engineers to hospitals to chiropractors to dentists. We've worked with all kinds of different industries. So it's one of those things that people ask, well, I understand that it works in some, but it doesn't work in our industry. It's been tracked and it's been proven, and we've done testing that almost every industry it really does. So you take a look at target markets. It works for CEOs, CPAs, doctors. We've even done some things to NFL coaches. If you want to go down to the nitty gritty of checking out pet owners or high-end car owners, those type of things, you can really target those people, those audiences. It really works with those audiences as well. With this 157-year-old technique, it doesn't matter if you're selling business to business or if you're selling business to the consumer. Again, we've tested it, we've gone through it. And we'll show you exactly what we did so you have a better understanding of what this whole process is like. If we want to move on, we kind of have 3 promises that we want to make to you. Really, at the end of this, you'll know exactly how to properly use this 157-year-old technique. You'll be able to walk away, be able to take some of these ideas and really implement it. You'll know how to leverage old media along with new media. Since we live really in a digital world, we want to show you how the two tie together. And also at the end of this, you'll know the system that we use to get 8 to 10 times the typical results that most companies and most organizations get. So remember, the biggest thing behind this, it's not your fault. It's one of those things we've been in marketing for over the past decade at this point. Things are always changing. Things are changing even on a quarterly basis. It's tough to keep up. Unless you're dedicated, unless you're in it day in and day out, it's really tough to keep up. Now, I'm sure you've gone from fax machines to doing a lot of telemarketing to doing old school direct mail approaches, the search engine optimization, higher Google rankings when it first came out. Maybe you did some testing on MySpace and Facebook. Again, things just change so fast. And we want to show you how to leverage technology along with the 157-year-old technique. So a couple of things. We want to ensure that you have those aha moments throughout. And you should definitely have 2 to 3 of those aha moments. And when you do, definitely jot them down. Again, with this webinar, it's a free training. And we want to show you exactly what we're doing. So that way you can take it and you can pull it and you can use it. Even if you only use a portion of it, even being able to use a small percentage of it, it should still increase the ROI that you're currently getting when it comes to marketing overall. First thing I want you to do though, turn off your cell phones, put it on mute, flip the face on over, get off Facebook. I'm sure you're kind of taking a look at Facebook as well. Just try to eliminate as many distractions as possible. And we're only going to be here with you for really about the next 50 minutes, and we want your full dedication on this. Turn off any type of notifications that might pop up all the time on your screen, and let's concentrate really just on this. So again, you can learn how to take this and how to implement it and apply it to your business, starting really today. As a reminder, at the end of the webinar, if you remind me, send me a quick email or just remind me in the notes in the comment section, we'll show you a free video. I'll be able to give you a free video that kind of goes into details of some of this as well. We have an ebook that goes through this. It's a bit of a cheat sheet. If you go through the ebook, that'll definitely help you out as well, kind of follow through. And then also we have a comprehensive checklist that we look at internally whenever we go to launch this type of campaign. So again, just remind me at the end of the webinar, send me an email. I'll be more than happy to share that with you. So the big thing is that what we're talking about here is not drastic changes. We've all talked about it before, and you've heard the adage, in order to get to where you're going, it's not necessarily making drastic changes, overhauling what you're doing, it's making small tweaks, it's making small turns. It's figuring out exactly where you currently stand and what can you do to really get to the proverbial next level. One of the things, just to kind of prove to you that this is pretty easy, it's learnable. We were working with Mary Pat. She was a government worker, and she made it very, very, very clear in the next 6 months she was going to retire. She didn't want to deal with this. She didn't want to learn anything new. She just wanted to do the same old, same old. Really within about 45 minutes, we're able to train her, and she was able to take a couple of these golden nuggets we'll share with you and really implement it, and it made a huge, huge deal for her. So if you have somebody like her who is adamant against, hey, I don't want to learn anything new, I'm just kind of here along for the ride, and if she can take it and she can really roll out with it, you can see how valuable it would be for the rest of us. So just kind of where we stand is I've definitely been in your shoes before. Like I said, I've been in marketing for over the past decade, and we've seen the ebbs and flows. We've seen some things work out extremely well, some trends work out extremely well, other ones obviously end. One of the biggest things is where we got to really hit home on this. We're working with a regional bank, and we were fired from working for that regional bank. We'll really kind of share that story with you as we go through. But because of that, because we're fired, we really had an opportunity to take a look back, what went wrong, what went right, not much. But what could we do to really change it, to really maximize it? So that's really when we hit the wall, spent a bunch of time trying to figure out what do we need to do to take our next steps to really be able to break through. It's one of those things too, is that everybody thinks they're a marketing genius. You talk to your mom, you talk to your neighbor, you talk to your brother, you talk to your family, you talk to whoever it may be, everybody believes they're a marketing genius. Oh, what, you got to do this, and you got to do that. And that's fantastic. But I'll be honest with you, unless it's actually been tried and true, you just never know. Like I said, we've actually gone through this and we spent millions of dollars on this, and so we have proof that this does definitely work. Also, no one has been consistent in this process. A lot of times what people will do when we start talking about this 157-year-old technique is pull out one component or maybe two components. Maybe they'll do it once and that's about it. They're just not real consistent. And to be honest with you, the biggest downfall in life overall is simply lack of consistency. Overall, people just aren't consistent in their day-to-day lives. And so one of the biggest things that we challenge you, regardless if it's with this or if it's with something else, is to become consistent. Become consistent where we're trying to train you and teach you, but also just become consistent in everything else you really have rolling and going as well. We've been a national speaker. We've done regional, we've done national, we've been voted the top speaker at national conferences. Personally, one of the top questions when I am speaking, I don't care if it's regionally, if it's nationally, whatever it may be, one of the top questions I get on a consistent basis is this form of marketing dead? And that's exactly what I want to go through. And that's exactly what I want to be able to kind of dispel. So to give you an idea of who we've worked for, we work with big companies, small companies. We've worked with Fortune 500 companies like Mutual of Omaha. We've done consulting work for State of Nebraska, the University of Nebraska, NASCAR, small food manufacturers, city entities, regional events, small business owners, national franchises, really kind of the whole gamut we've really worked for. So it's not one of those things that only works in certain niches. We've had experience really throughout, and we want to be able to share those experiences, especially when you take some of these large corporations that have a lot of revenue, have a lot of additional cash they can spend. They can afford to make mistakes. Majority of you, small business owners and marketing people, you just flat out can't. That's not the way that the market, that's not the way that small business is set up. So if you try something, you have to make sure it's tried and true. And that's why I want to go through and really teach this to you. So again, our goal is to be able to take you from average, maybe past good, and get you all the way up to the results that we're experiencing with a lot of our clients. Again, that's a magnitude of going from an average of 3% return of your audience all the way to potentially up to 30%. And there's been times we've even got more than just that 30%. So we want you to have that breakthrough. Again, it's just a matter of degrees. You don't have to change everything that you're doing. It's making a couple of tweaks here, a couple of tweaks there. Many times you're already doing this. You just simply got to make tweaks to what you're currently doing to make some of those changes. You know, it's that old story that people talk about the diamond digger. The guy spent millions and millions and millions of dollars digging for diamonds and just flat out couldn't find anything, so he gave up. A new guy came in, went through his tunnel, dug an extra foot, and he found all the diamonds that he needed to become a very, very rich person. So again, it's just a matter of a couple of degrees and break through a couple of degrees. So again, you're 90% of the way there. Just learn and apply the additional 10%. That's the biggest thing that probably separates you from the experts. The experts will go that extra 10% and be able to do it. So again, you're close. All we need to do is make some tweaks and we'll really get into the details of exactly what we're looking at, exactly what needs to be done. So back to the story of when we were fired. Like I said, we're working with a regional bank and they wanted to do a direct mail piece. The bank gave us zip codes. They gave us the incentive. They gave us the overall design. At that point in time, we were simply just doing layout and shipping these things out, and that was about it. There was no strategy really behind it because most of the strategy came from up above. Like I said, they wanted to go after zip codes. I think it was about 25,000 zip codes. They thought they knew the incentive. We didn't question the incentive. And they had an overall idea of what they wanted mocked up, so that's exactly what we did. However, when we did it, we got just disastrous results. We sent out over 20,000 postcards. We had 3 people that came back and really took advantage of that incentive. So it was an ROI of less than 0.25%, about 0.1%. So needless to say, with that, we were fired. Once we were fired, 2008, this was at really the beginning of 2008. And when 2008 hit and the economy went down to the crapper, is the majority of companies pulled back on their marketing. And so it was really kind of that perfect storm. When 2008 hit, like I said, I had a bunch of time on my hands because most of my clients were pulling back to figure out, all right, what happened? What went wrong? What can we do differently? How can we maximize this? So we started to dig real deep into this whole system. So that became really my why. I was focused on improvement. I knew that we're going in the right direction, but I just had a hard time figuring out exactly what direction that was. So I sat down and spent hours and hours and hours with extreme focus, figuring out what I needed to do to improve. And basically what we came up with was exactly the system we wanted to show you. Like I said, over the last 6 years now, we've worked with dozens of companies implementing this exact system. Hundreds of companies, implementing this exact system. And we've had hundreds of different industries and everything. And we really want to be able to pull this together to show you the results. So before we get into this, I want you to make sure that you open your mind. Have an open mind. So when we talk about going from a 0.015% ROI to a 30% ROI, you can understand. You can fully follow along and understand what we're getting. We want you to be able to get better results than most Fortune 500 companies are getting. And ironically enough, when we do some consulting with some people and we go to networking events with some people who do a lot of work with Fortune 500 companies, and ironically is that they're slow to change, real slow to change. When you're that big, it's tough. The advantage you have of being a small business owner or being a marketing director is that you can change. You can shift. It's a lot easier for you to be able to shift and make adjustments than it is for a Fortune 500 company. So a lot of times when people have been able to get these results, 30% ROI on some of their marketing pieces, they're able to get those results by actually spending less money than they were before. So again, we want to teach you. We want to show you how that works. So what we want you to do, focus on the results. Focus on what makes you money. Don't micromanage the process. You got to trust us. Trust the process. The process on this works. Focus on what you know and focus on what you know best, which is your business. Also, again, going back to focus on the money and allow us to be able to show you how to get that money in your door. But the biggest thing is don't micromanage. Don't go through this. Well, I got to make this tweak and this tweak and this tweak. If you make those tweaks, you're not going to get the results of what we're talking about. So again, have an open mind on what we're about ready to present. Get ready to really focus on exactly what we're talking about. Remove all distractions that might be around you, and let's really focus so that way we can get you killer results. So excuses, and we hear about this before we dive into it. I have no time, it's too expensive, not enough expertise, I'm not smart enough, I don't have the confidence, I have the wrong type of clients. We hear that again and again and again and again, and partly it's because people are afraid of changing. They're afraid of doing something different. To be honest with you, going through all of this stuff, none of these are true excuses. None of them really are. You don't have to be the smartest person. You don't have to spend a bunch of money. You don't have to spend a bunch of extra time. To be honest with you, if you implement this, it might take you less time than what you really had before. So now we want to show you some options. You have options. Options is our solution. So I'm going to break this down, and I'm going to get into detail on exactly every one of these. Our solution is the direct mail to digital system. It's leveraging a 157-year-old marketing technique to really benefit you in today's digital world. And so again, the whole system, the whole training that we have is the direct mail to digital system. So the micro-target your audience. We want to be able to get to know them on a very intimate basis. Where if your target audience is walking down the street, is we know who they are. You can pinpoint them. You know exactly who your audience is. We want to surround them wherever they're at, offline, online. We want to be around them. Now that sounds expensive, it's not, and I'll tell you exactly how it's not. We want to offer value along every part of the way. It does not necessarily give it a 20% discount or 50 bucks off. It's educational value along the way, we'll get into that. And the biggest thing is being consistent, being in front of these people on a consistent basis. There's no such thing in marketing as doing something one time and expecting all the results in the world. You really have to be consistent with any type of marketing. So some of the old habits when people used to do direct mail. Some of the old habits, and if you do these, you're probably gonna get the same results as everybody else. Again, a 1 to 3% ROI. You purchase a list. Generally speaking, you purchase a list on a zip code. We're here in Lincoln, Nebraska, and so if we do a zip code of say 68521, you're looking at 12,000 people. Well, I guarantee you not all 12,000 people that have the same needs and everything as everybody else, but we'll dive into that. A lot of times you'll have your printer do the design work. And you figure, hey, they're printing stuff. They must be good designers. They must be good strategists on this because they can print a postcard. And so what you do is you send out a letter or a postcard, and a lot of times the call to action is too soft, too murky. One of the things that we deal with when it comes to small business owners, especially here in the Midwest, is Midwesterners overall are very, very humble people, which I definitely appreciate and definitely love. On the downside of it, though, we're very, very, very humble people. Sometimes we have a hard time celebrating who we are, and we don't want to come across as too direct. And with this, you don't have to come across as extremely direct, but a lot of the calls to action are just too soft, too mushy, if you will. And then what you do it at one time. You do a direct mail drop, and you drop down to say 12,000 people, and you do it one time, and you expect all this business to come in, and chances are you probably wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait. So that's a lot of the old habits that people have. With our direct mail digital system, and we'll teach you this. And so, we also have a 4-week class that goes into each one of these details down at the granular level. So the first thing we want you to take a look at, we want you to be able to think small. Think small. Think about your audience, who they are, what are their characteristics, where are they? And I'll show you examples of exactly how to get down to that. Then we want to be able to take a look at how to leverage new technologies. How do you get deeper inside of those technologies, and how do you take advantage of today's digital world? So then it's just updating old methods. Again, it's not necessarily spending a bunch of extra time, energy, money. It's simply updating some of the old methods. It can definitely save you time and save you money. And again, we talk about it being consistent. And we will know the exact ROI each time we ship this out. So let's dive down. Let's break down exactly what we get to do, what we do to get 10 times the results of a typical mail campaign. So 1, audience. It's not Lincoln, Nebraska. It's not Columbia, Missouri. It's not females in Columbia, Missouri. It really goes through and details out exactly what you're looking for. So on the left-hand side, you have a family. You have a family with 2 kids, 1 boy, 1 girl. What you're looking at for that, and this is how detailed you want to get. You're looking for females between the ages of 30 to 40 that have a couple of kids. We pick on females that are married because females in relationships control almost 80% of all spend. So we want to break it down to that level. So even going just from a zip code, breaking down to I want to have females that are married between the ages of 30 to 40, that have a couple of kids, you can go from 12,000 names down to 2,000 names pretty quick, and your ROI starts going up. On the business side of it, maybe it's a title you need to go after. Maybe it's the head of HR. Maybe it's a business owner. Maybe it's somebody in construction. Whatever that title is you get to know them really on an intimate basis. So what I want to show you, and I'll give this profile to you for free as well if you join us in our classes that we'll have afterwards, is the best buyer profile. Is you get to know them, again, on an intimate basis. And I'm going through this again and again. And we all know it, however, I would say less than 10% of people actually get down to this level that we're talking about. So for example, on the left-hand side, you see a photo. It's the mother, again, that we're going after. She controls 78% of all spend inside of her family. We assigned a name to her. Her name is Heather Clark. We assigned a name to her so that way she becomes that much more of a person to us. So what we want to do, we want to break this down. We want to be able to discover her background, dig deeper into her background, figure out her common demographics. What are some identifiers that she has? What about lifestyle? How does she like to live on a day-to-day basis? What are some of her internal beliefs? It's those beliefs that might be holding her back from buying her product or service. So we need to be able to identify what those beliefs are and really what those challenges are as well. So you start off with this best buyer profile, and we have templates set up. If you join us in our class, I'll give you a free template that you can start going through and filling this out on your behalf. When we've led seminars before with this best buyer profile, it might take about an hour or so to go through it, but it's a foundation piece that you'll be able to have now, literally for months to potentially the next few years. So to show you an example of this is that we have Heather Clark. She's the mom that we're really going after. She grew up outside of Lincoln. She moved to Lincoln to go to school, and she really fell in love, and she currently works at a law firm. So what we're taking a look at is just to get to know her on a more intimate level. Does she definitely have to? Well, had to have grown up outside of Lincoln? No, but it tells us a little bit about her. And again, it allows us to be able to identify her. Demographics, female, like we talked about, 32 years old, which is right in our wheelhouse, so we're really targeting. Married, household income of $58,000. To give you an idea, the average household income in Lincoln is about $49,000. So it's above average, slightly above average, but it's still above average. Identifiers is with her being a new mom, she really is trying to balance family and life, family and work life. She loves being identified for her family, but sometimes she just simply yearns for younger years, simply being able to escape, being able to get away, being able to just to have some fun. She doesn't have a lot of discretionary income, but she also likes to really be spontaneous. So again, you can see how you start diving deeper into this so you get to know them on a bit more of an intimate level. Her lifestyle. Now, she doesn't live paycheck to paycheck, but she doesn't have a ton of money in regards to extra spending money. What she does spend, it has to be a bit more calculated. She just can't be freely. She lives in the first house they bought together, but is looking to upgrade over the next year or two. And that's some important information too, depending on your demographics that you're really trying to go after. Is the average person, when they buy their second home, they are about 33 to 35 when they buy their second home. And so that's some important information to really go after. So lifestyle-wise, she's also busy with kids, doctor's appointments, after-school programs, just trying to succeed overall, and really just trying to be a mom. Some of her beliefs is at times she feels forgotten, and if you're a mom on the line, you could definitely relate to that. Is that sometimes so busy with being a working mom and mom at home, and then taking care of everything that goes on. Sometimes you feel forgotten, and sometimes again, there's somebody jealous of her friends and the perceived freedoms that they enjoy without kids. She's completely in love with her husband, and she understands how important it is to date, and she needs to make sure that remains a priority. So that's one of the big beliefs. So going deeper into this, and again, it's so important for you to be able to go and build out these best buyer profiles, because this is where all of your marketing starts. The more that you get to know your buyers, the easier your marketing becomes. So you get to know how to reach them, what your messaging should be, what are their issues, what are their beliefs, and what are their challenges, and how to really work with them. So a challenge for her, convincing her that she needs more than just a few hours away. She truly needs an escape. Showing fun, different events she just flat out can't experience by staying at home. And also convincing her it's okay to let her kids be at home for the weekend, and for her to be even 45 minutes away. 45 minutes away is far enough for her to be able to fully get away, but still close enough if she needs to get home for whatever reason. So talking with her, and here's one of the keys. We talk about real quotes with your best buyers. If you can think of a couple of your best buyers, pick up the phone and talk to them. They absolutely love that because it shows that you care. It shows that you're interested in them. in everything that they have to offer. And it builds up that whole credibility aspect with it as well. So we picked up the phone and we talked to some of these best buyers. And this is what we heard. With kids, work, after school activities, and everything else, it's easy to forget about us time. I miss us. There are so many other things in our lives that distract us from each other. Also, I would like to escape for the weekend. However, I don't be too far away from my kids in case something happens. So they're telling us exactly what her beliefs are, what her pain points are, where she's at, what's taking place, and how really she wants to be communicated to. So with that being said, we simply take some of those beliefs and some of those challenges and we just wrap it up in a marketing message. She deserves an escape. Now, while it's only 45 minutes away, it's far enough to reconnect and close enough to really run home if need be. She needs to rekindle that fire and that passion that she has for her husband. And there are plenty of options to experience, from events to outdoors to simply relaxing. Just get back to being us. So that's the marketing message that we can do. Now, will these words appear exactly on any type of direct mail piece or any type of other piece that we do? Not necessarily, but it's a really good start. It's a really good start, a really solid foundation, and then you just got to tweak kind of the messaging, tweak communications, tweak what else do you have going on. So the second thing you got to take a look at is lifetime value. It's that whole 80-20 rule. 80% of your profits really come from 20% of your clients. So focus on those 20%. Really build your identities around those 20%. So also figure out for lifetime value, how many times will they buy in the next 3 years? Are you selling tires and will they come in twice in the next 3 years? Are you selling daycare? Are you doing HVAC systems where you maybe only buy one HVAC system from you, but you might be able to come in twice a year for maintenance on that. Figure out how much money they're spending with you in the next 3 years. So that way you know the total lifetime value of that client. So if you spend some money, say you spend $120 or $100 to get a lifetime, to get a new client, you understand the ROI on it. So a daycare set in lifetime value, here's a good example of this, is that we do some work with actually quite a few daycares at this point in time. And one of the big things for them is they understand that once you get a child in their daycare center, is in revenue, you're looking about $18,000 over the next 2.5 years. And the average person, the average kid is with it for 2.5 years. That's before the parents move, jobs change, the kid graduates to go to school, those type of things. So she understands the lifetime value is $18,000. So what she's willing to do is give up a chunk of cash at the beginning in order to get that $18,000 down the road. So with her, what we've done is put together a campaign. And with that campaign, we offer free diapers for a year. And it sounds expensive. It's like, oh my God, how can I afford to give away free diapers for a year in her case? Her cost on that is $256. So she's willing to spend $256 to get that buyer in, knowing she'll make $18,000 on the back end. So that's the power of lifetime value, fully understanding what you have there. So then step number 3 is take a look at the direct mail pieces. The biggest thing about this is you have to stagger, generally speaking, about 4 direct mail pieces over their average buying cycle. So if your buying cycle for your business is 6 months, 3 months, 12 months, make sure that you hit them 4 times through direct mail during that buying cycle. The first one that you ship out needs to be a high-end piece. It could be some examples that we kind of show up above. It could be simply sending them a box that they have to sign for. Maybe it's a box with a couple of different gimmicks and type of things inside of it. Something that's going to break through the clutter that's a nice looking piece. When I say high-end, it doesn't have to be super expensive. It really doesn't. We've done it as low as spending a couple of $100 total on this whole first direct mail. So it doesn't have to be expensive. It's something different. It cannot be a letter. It cannot be a postcard. It needs to break through. It needs to be something different than typically what they get. The next 2 pieces can be that oversized postcard. We recommend 6x9. 6x9 is a lot better. It sticks out in the mail a lot more. Generally if you get postcards are 4x6, that's a standard size. 5x7 every once in a while. So 6x9 simply sticks out more. With the postcards, maybe they interact with it for 10 seconds before they throw it away, but it's much longer than the majority of the other direct mail pieces they are receiving. Plus, at this point, we're building up awareness. They've already seen you 2 to 3 times now during their buying cycle, and so you're building up awareness. The last piece needs to be another high-end piece with the strongest call to action on it. Another example, another box, another something gets sent out to them with a very strong call to action on it. And ideally, by that point in time, they've made a buying decision. So what a call to action could be, it simply could be driving traffic to the website, getting phone calls, receiving emails, scheduling an appointment, bringing in a coupon. There's all kinds of different things to call to action. the goal here is to get them in your buy-in, in your sales funnel. Is once you get them in your sales funnel, then you can increase it. Then you can continue to drip on them again and again and again and again. So it's not necessarily making a sell on day one. Obviously, we all agree that that's fantastic when it happens. The goal right off the bat is to be able to get them in your sales funnel and then be able to drip on them over and over again while they make that buying decision. So some tips on direct mail. Use handwriting wherever you can. We've had it on the outside of boxes, outside of packages. We've done it on postcards where we leave a blank spot on the back and we do a quick little handwritten message. We have a client that's even done it on a notebook paper. It looks like yellow notebook paper, he's writing a personalized note. Handwriting maximizes your return. Insert some kind of promotional product. Now, we've all seen even envelopes. You get the envelope in the mail, you know it's simply just a pen inside that envelope, but we're curious creatures. We're curious enough to see what that pen is, to see what it looks like, and see how it looks and feels. Use forms in the mail pieces. You know, if it's something you want them to subscribe to sign up now, give them that dang form for them to fill out along with the stamp so they can mail them back. Make it super easy. Anything you can do where they can take action with you in the next minute or two, definitely do it. And also exceed value over time. Don't just talk about how cool you are, how amazing you are, how you have the best products and you have the best services. Everybody states that. So maybe teach them. Teach them about your industry. Teach them who you are. Teach them how to make the best buying decision. And let me be honest with you, if you teach them how to make the best buying decision, they might not buy with you, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. At least you're not wasting your time on that side of it. The more educated they are, the more educated buyers they are, the more likely they are to come back to you for the simple fact you are the ones educating them, and they want to be able to give value back to you. So the next step then is how to leverage current technologies. Facebook, and if you take a look at Facebook, even in Nebraska, there's well over, it's about 1.1 million people are on Facebook in Nebraska. You take a look at Lincoln, it's about 198,000. Take a look at Omaha, it's about 480,000. And so a huge, huge chunk of these populations, and we're talking 50 to 65% penetration rates, are on Facebook. Well, let's leverage that. Let's leverage that along with the direct mail itself. Now, what you can do, that direct mail list that you box based off your best buyers, upload that direct mail list to to Facebook. You can do an email match, or you can do a phone number match. You can match the phone numbers, and generally speaking, there's about a 55% match if you have phone numbers attached to those people. So what you want to do is you want to, again, be able to send them these direct mail pieces, but then upload that exact same list so you can create a customized ad. So the minute they get that direct mail piece and when they go back to Facebook, they can see your ad mysteriously just appear as well. Again, it's being able to hit on these people again and again and again and again. And once they go ahead and land on Facebook and potentially land on your site, then just retarget them as you really go along. So here's an example of what I mean. We do a lot of work even in tourism. So there was an attraction called the Golden Spike Tower. So maybe it's one of those things, I get a direct mail piece, then I'm kind of interested. Not saying I'm gonna go there, but just interested in checking something out. So I go on the website. Well, what happens now, you start retargeting those people. So when you go on to Google, they see you. When they go on the local news source, they see you. When they go on to Facebook, they see you. When you go on to the weather to see if it's golfing weather, they see you. They see you retargeted over and over and over again. Part of that's simply awareness. Part of that's also to kind of keep top of mind exactly what you have going on. This is the type of system, though, that allows you to get the results that you really, truly deserve. And we're talking 20 to 30% ROI on this stuff. This is what we spent millions of dollars on to be able to build and really showcase and really to improve and impact what we're taking a look at. So surrounding your target, hit them on Facebook, hit them on local news sources, hit them on blogs they read, hit them on Google. Take a look, again, over the next 30 days, 45 days, how do you continually follow up with them and how are you in front of them consistently until they do make a buying decision? So this way, you're not just relying on direct mail, you're also relying on digital media as well to be able to be in front of them until they do make that buying decision. So after this, it's gauge your ROI. The beautiful thing about this whole direct mail to digital system, it literally, you get a list. That list may be 20 names, that list may be 2,000 names, but you have a list. And all you have to do is check, did Joe Smith buy from me, yes or no? Is Joe Smith in my sales funnel, yes or now? Yes or no? That's simply all that you have to do to figure out your ROI. Factor in lifetime value over the next 3 years. So if the average purchase price with you is $100 and they buy from you 2 times a year, then you're looking at $600. So you know your lifetime value for that one person is $600. So that's how you figure out your overall ROI on this. Goal is to get them in the door. And obviously you must close them once they're in the door, but it's a lot easier to close them once they actually get in your door. So let's take a look at some case studies. One of them, we worked with an IT consultant. With the IT consultant, she targeted as low as just 20 hospitals and 20 banks. When she targeted those 20 hospitals and 20 banks, we had a call to action on it to visit a website and see a personalized video. Those personalized videos that she did, 40 seconds long. It took about 2 hours to shoot all 40 of those videos, and that includes editing as well. But we were able to go ahead and put those up on YouTube. So what happens now is that when we send them that direct mail piece, we ask them to go to a website with their name on that website for personalized video. Over a third of those people went to that website to watch that video. If you fast forward by the end of this whole campaign that we did, 16% of her targets signed contracts with her company. And so that was definitely a game changer on that side of things. So again, it doesn't have to be a big list. The big thing I want you to think about is just kind of think small in this and how it works and how it flows together. A dentist office. We had a list as low as 600 people. We were looking at families with a couple of kids who lived within, I think it was like a 10-mile radius of where this dentist was at. It was rural. It wasn't in the middle of the city. It was kind of a rural area. So that radius, the mile radius, was a little bit larger. What we did is we targeted those 600 people and gave a free toothbrush. The total community size they lived in was only 2,500 people. So again, we recommended not mailing out to all 2,500, figuring out the absolute best buyers. So we mailed them out a toothbrush, did some follow-up campaigns on it. We ran some Facebook ads, so they could see those as well. Their ROI was over 141%. And so again, it's just being targeted, being consistent, now following those people all around. We also work with Mechanic. With Mechanic is that we gave 4 direct mail pieces and every one of them had value. And we target just high-end, BMW, Mercedes, and Lexus. So we target just high-end people. When we target those high-end people, we didn't necessarily talk about how amazing and great we are. We gave them advice on their car because we knew exactly what car they owned. We also gave them a solid call to action. So what happened with them as well is since it was so targeted and we gave them such great value, is within the first mailer, they were able to bring in enough value or bring enough clients to really pay for the whole entire campaign. And so that's one of your goals there, is to be able to get a quick ROI, get some proof right off the bat, and continue to build off of that momentum. So the big thing is takeaway-wise when it comes to this whole system, again, is think small. You know, it's get to know your audience at an intimate level and really be able to drill down. Leverage Facebook. You know, they're on Facebook. The majority of people check Facebook on almost a daily basis at this point in time. It's very mobile friendly. They're just messing around with it on their phones all the time. Being able to see you direct mail wise, have physically something in your hands, then be able to get on Facebook and see what you have. Gauge the ROI off the lifetime value. Not that they spent with you $100 today, what are they spending with you over the next 3 years? Give them value, give them education really throughout the process. So it gets away from talking about you and how great you are and starts moving it towards more of that full-fledged conversation. Education, retarget. Once they've been on your website, retarget them again and again and again, follow through. And the big thing behind this is be consistent, be consistent. Now we have a system, and Marcus here that's with me, and you saw Marcus in the training video as well, is he'll go through and tell you exactly what the system is and the classes and the seminars that we offer. We will get into the granular level inside of each one of these components through this 4-week class. With this 4-week class, you'll get to know exactly who your best buyers are. We'll go through that guide. We'll tell you exactly how to put together some of these direct mail pieces. We'll give you some templates when it comes to these direct mail pieces. We'll give you some ideas when it comes to messaging and how to do this. We will show you how to upload a list. We'll show you how to create Facebook ads. We'll show you how to target these people again and again and again. And so our 4-week class, it's about 1 hour a week for 4 weeks, and you have a little bit of homework up front or in between each class. But by the end of this, you'll be able to completely change some of the marketing that you're doing. Change it from getting a 3% return to over a 30% return. And so that's one of the big things that we're going to be able to teach you through this class and through this course, is how to take it and leverage it and really expand it. Now, with these nuggets we've given you, you can implement some of this today. You absolutely can. Now, if you want to become an expert and really become a true pro and get to that 30% level, you know, I highly recommend taking a course that Marcus is about ready to go into detail with you. So now you have some options.
Option 1, hire Mally Academy and our staff to visit you, learn your business, create your own direct mail to digital system and run it for you. We're going to hand over the customized templates so you can implement additional campaigns. This starts at 12,000 plus ad spend. Option 2, you can hire us at Mally Academy and its sister agency, Mally Marketing, to do it completely in-house from start to finish. This is going to start at 4,600 plus ad spend. And option 3, you can join the Mally Academy Direct Mail to Digital Workshop and learn all of our advanced strategies direct from Steve and I. Now, perhaps you're concerned that this digital to direct marketing workshop is going to cost you a small fortune. And honestly, it really should. After all, the Direct Mail to Digital Workshop has already helped 221 small businesses achieve closings of millions in additional revenue. Now, I'm going to get to the price in just a few moments, but first I want to share with you a few more unique benefits that this one-of-a-kind workshop will deliver to you. We're going to teach you how to avoid wasting thousands in direct mail costs by only mailing to the specific people that have a proven track record of being interested in your product or service. You're going to enjoy having a templated, proven system doing the heavy lifting for you and taking out the guesswork. We're also going to reveal specifically how to take your direct mail list and upload it to Facebook, and how this will massively leverage return on your direct mail campaign. Plus, and I won't go into details here, but it's actually one of my favorite strategies where you can take your current list of clients and learn how to replicate them to find more buyers exactly like them. You'll also discover marketing firms' biggest lies that you've got to avoid. You really must avoid if you want to finally achieve the success that you desire. And that's going to be in the cheat sheet that you downloaded too. Plus, we're going to unlock the secret of where to buy highly targeted lists for a fraction of the cost that most firms will charge you. Now, the price of the digital to direct mail workshop sold by itself is $1,997, but that price is not for you. I'll explain why in just a moment. Just for watching this entire presentation today, I'd like to give you 2 value-added bonuses free of charge, just to help you increase your marketing ROI even faster. The first gift you'll be receiving today is our package of best buyer and direct mail templates that show you exactly how to target your absolute best buyers and set up your direct marketing campaign, saving you hours and thousands in design fees. Now, that's normally valued at $797. Again, yours free today. The second gift you'll receive today is access to our Facebook group page, where you can connect with others in the Mally Academy community and leverage their successes in other marketing activities. We normally sell access to this group for $698 a year. Again, yours free today. So now you can see why the Direct Mail to Digital Workshop is valued at $1,997. And then when you add in the bonuses, the retail value of the Direct Mail to Digital Workshop is $1,997 plus $797 plus $698. That comes to $3,492. However, just for watching the presentation today, I've got a much better deal for you coming your way, so please keep watching just for a few more minutes. It won't be available after this webinar is over. We're not even going to make it half of that $3,492. We're not even make it half of that at $1,246. Today only, and only from this presentation, your total investment in the Direct Mail to Digital Workshop, including all the bonuses, valued at $3,492, is only $997. Take a look to the right of this video right now, and then click on the link on the right that says, "I want to increase my revenue now," to lock in the discounted price today for just $997. Now, I do want you to try this on me. You don't have to make a decision right now. I want you to take advantage of my triple guarantee. I want you to try the Direct Mail to Digital Workshop on me for the first 2 full classes. And if you don't learn the secret to finding buyers exactly like your current clients, or if you don't find our service and attention superb, or even if you don't like my accent, no worries. We're going to refund every penny you invested today. No questions asked, no hassles, no hard feelings. Again, look to the right of this video right now and click on the link that says, "I want to increase my revenue now," and lock in that discounted price today. Just have a look at what IT Pack Consulting did after following a Direct Mail to Digital Workshop strategies.
Now, the IT Pack, that's the one that had that return. We're talking about 30%, where she's able to close 70% of her clients within that whole buying cycle we described earlier.
I'm going to include this super bonus worth an additional $125 absolutely free. You're going to get a free 30-minute phone consultation with the expert, Steve Malley, the guy sitting next to me right now. You're going to get to discuss your current marketing strategies with Steve. And that brings the total value of this whole package to $3,617. Now, again, click on the link to the right that says, I want to increase my revenue now. You'll get the entire direct mail to digital workshop package for just $997. It really is that simple. Remember, you'll get bonus 1, the do-it-yourself templates. Bonus 2, exclusive access to our Facebook community. You'll get the triple money back guarantee. You get the super bonus, the 30-minute phone consultation with Steve Malley. And immediately after you buy today, we'll add you to our exclusive Facebook community so you can immerse yourself immediately. Then you can head over to www.malleyacademy.com, Best Buyer's Guide, and download the Best Buyer's Guide template so you can discover what clients are shouting to share with you. This will ensure you get started quickly. By joining our community and downloading the Best Buyer's Guide template today, it will help you get off on the right foot so you too can get started getting maximum results from your direct mail efforts. Remember, along with making the decision to change your business for the better today, you'll also be receiving that first bonus, bonus 1, the do-it-yourself templates, bonus 2, the exclusive access to our Facebook community, the triple money back guarantee, and of course the super bonus, that all-important 30-minute consultation on the phone with Steve Malley. Again, click on the link on the right now, and let's get you started today.
Now, if you're still watching, I bet you do have some questions. And so we'll really move into the Q&A section of this. Here are some of the most common questions we get about the direct mail, the digital workshop, and really the answers that help you out. One of the top questions we get is that, this sounds expensive. It sounds, if I wanted to go do direct mail the right way, it sounds way too expensive. In reality, again, if you're doing any type of direct mail, I would have to say about 80% of the clients who we're working with, we actually lower their overall cost of direct mail. We would lower the cost when it comes to where to purchase the list to begin with. A lot of times, big companies, their minimum charge to buy a list is $600. We can get lists for as little as $200, and so you're saving a lot of money right there. Plus, by micro-targeting that we're talking about, you're going from direct mail drop of 10,000 potentially down to 2,000, down to 1,000. So you have a lot of cost savings there as well. And so it's not really that much more expensive. So then people start talking about, well, I'm not an expert in this. I don't fully understand how to go through the process of advertising on Facebook. And it's one of those things we show you step by step by step. I've been teaching and training Facebook and Facebook advertising for the last 6 years. And so we'll be able to show you step by step by doing some screen sharing and show you exactly where to go, what to upload, how to upload it, and then where to create the ads. We'll literally walk you through it, handhold you through it. Because it's not overly complicated, but it is something new. And sometimes when something new, it takes a little while to kind of get used to. But going through that process where you have me on the line and we're able to walk you through it, that helps you out just immensely. Some of the questions I get, well, I'm selling business to business, and that doesn't work. Facebook advertising doesn't work on business to business. And that is complete BS. Out of all the clients that we work with, all the industries that we work with, a huge chunk of them, we're actually on the business to business side. The thing you got to keep in mind, you're still selling to a person. You're selling to a human. You're selling to an individual on the other end of that screen. And so regardless of your belief is, they still act like a human because they are. They're a person. And we know exactly how to break through. So people, in business decision makers do make decisions when it comes to where to buy products and services, those type of things online and really through Facebook. What the question is, Marcus brought up before too, is that getting into this direct mail and digital workshop is Marcus is willing to go ahead and give you a full refund if after the first 2 classes you're not 100% happy with it. You're not 100% satisfied. You don't have those gold nuggets that you can take and you can implement. I guarantee you for that $997 that you pay him, it's either going to save you a bunch of money or you're going to make a lot more money because of it. So really it's a no-lose situation. So you can see how valuable this has been for a lot of small businesses really throughout the Midwest in all kinds of different industries. So with the direct mail digital workshop, the next step again is to be able to click on the link on the right-hand side to get signed up for it. We'll give you direct access right away to the Best Buyer templates. as well as our Facebook community. But that way you can really get immersed into what we're fully doing. There'll be questions asked on that as well. I'm answering questions all the time on that community. So it's a really good place just to get started. And plus, going through this, like I said, we have over a decade of marketing experience. You're not going to learn just how to do direct mail or just how to do a Facebook ad. You'll learn so much more about marketing overall that can help you out at any type of print, any other type of online marketing, any type of direct sales approach. So it's definitely one of those things that's worth your money. Now, I know that we're heading up against that hour that we promised. We promised to keep it less than an hour. So I definitely appreciate your time. If you have any questions after the fact, you need anything clarified, then definitely send me an email, steve@mally.academy.com. I'd be more than happy to help you out. We will have this webinar replay available for a few days, and so we'll send you out that link for the webinar replay as well. But we definitely challenge you to be able to take that step, to make that decision, to improve your business, improve your marketing, improve your leads, improve your revenue, and at the end of the day, improve your profits, because obviously that's what it's all about. So again, I appreciate the time. Thank you for joining us, and definitely make it a great day.